Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Good morning, good morning, good morning to all of our radio listeners, our viewers via Von Radio's Facebook page and YouTube channel, and welcome to another edition of Youth on the Go here on Von Radio. I am ZAHNELA CLAXTON from the Department of Education, and every Saturday we're here to share updates, information, activities, and you know my personal favorite, quizzes with all of our listeners, with all of our viewers via Von Radio's Facebook page and YouTube channel. This Saturday is no different. Well, a little bit different. It is the first Saturday in June, and we all know how much I love the month of June because it is Child Month. And this year, after, a little bit of a hiatus, we're celebrating Child Month 2022. And of course, we couldn't be talking about Child Month 2022 without a very important person. We're going to introduce in a few seconds. However, know that during this month, we always take time out to feature our children, and so we'll start doing that from next week. But this week, we want to share the calendar with you. We want to share some general updates with you ahead of bringing the children on. And so I have with me this morning none other than our education officer with responsibility for early childhood education, Mrs. Florence Smithen. Good morning, Mrs. Smithen.
Good morning, Miss Claxton. It's a pleasure for me to be here and to share in this wonderful experience with you. Child Month is here. Yes, everyone, Child Month is here. Good morning to the general public and everyone over there in Radioland. I want to let you know that we are here. Child Month is back, and we are looking forward to celebrating our children, our caregivers, and to have fun during the month of June. And as you know, we are celebrating under the theme, Recycle, Save the Earth for our children's future.
Wonderful. So, of course, Mrs. Smith, like you said, we've had a little bit of a break, but we are back, and our theme, please repeat the theme for those who missed it, and then we'll talk a bit about the theme.
Yes, the theme is Recycle, Save the Earth for our children's future.
All right. So, of course, listeners, we want you to know that we are in a green economy. I think most of the themes for the last year have focused on the environment and the earth, because it is important that we take steps now to protect the earth, to have practiced good habits so that we can actually have an earth for our children, one that they can breathe clean air, that they can be able to grow trees, and of course, as we start shaping them now very early towards thinking about the environment and recycling and protecting the earth, they will also get the skills growing up to be able to do that. So let's go through the calendar a bit, Mrs. Smithen, and perhaps talk about some of the activities which will be happening.
Yes, and as Ms. Claxton said earlier, during this month, each Saturday we would come to the studio and we will talk about Child Month and what's happening. So we will be part of the Youth on the Go. On June today, 4th and 5th, tomorrow, children will be engaged in church services. They would go to the churches and they would sing their theme song, so that everyone would be aware of what they are talking about saving the environment. And in that theme song, we talked about, let's see what we can do to save the planet for me and you. Very important. And we talk about Earth. And we look at E. E is for the environment. We have to keep it clean. And if we stand together, we will make the best team. We look at A is for the animals that we love, swimming and walking and flying above. We look at R is for recycle, to use it again, to separate our trash into the right bin. So children to know what need to go into the recycle bin and what need to go into the other bin, so that we can reduce what goes to the landfill. Then we look at T is for traveling every day. Leave the car and rather walk this way, so they can exercise and move around. Yes.
Maybe one of these days the parents can park their cars at home and walk to school with the children. Parents might be thinking she's crazy because we'll be late. But even if it's not to school, walk to church, walk to a neighbor's, walk to a family member's house instead of driving. Someplace that is close enough that the children can be able to do it. Yes.
And age is for humans. We are humans, so the children need to know, and that's what we are. If we work together, we can go so far. So if we work together, we can really save the earth and make the earth a better place. And we said we are in it together, so we have to work together to make it a happy place. They said, that let's see what we can do for the planet, for me and you, and make it a happy place, because planet Earth is a happy place to live. Yes. Wonderful. So that children would be sharing that at the church services, the various activities that they're involved in. They would sing the song, and so that remind us all that how we have to protect our environment so that we can stimulate our economy. Because the children are doing their part in a small way of how they can help the economy to grow and be a better place.
Wonderful. So, Mrs. Smith, before we go on, I want to encourage the parents, because stay locked in. Ask your preschooler right now about that song. Let's see what we can do to save the planet for me and you. See if they can sing it, start practicing. Later on, we'll have a prize for a child who can call in and sing the song for us. Okay? So, parents of preschoolers, make sure you can start practicing now while you're listening, because later on, we will be able to have somebody, a brave soul, and I know that our preschoolers are very brave. One of them can call in and win an interesting prize by being able to sing that song that they're going to sing at church tomorrow.
Yes.
All right. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll talk a bit more about what's up for Child Month 2022.
Sugar City St. Kitts. Keep it sweet. Keep listening to Vaughn.
It's time, come on, rise and shine. You know, I know we're gonna have a great time. And now we're past it quickly, you don't wanna miss it. So turn up the radio, it's you on the go. Youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Let's go. I will learn new things. I will be creative. Grab your gears, let's gather around, and adventure is always waiting. The storytelling means for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Whoa, let's go.
Let's go. Good morning to all of our radio listeners, our viewers via Vaughn Radio's Facebook page and YouTube channel, and welcome to another edition of Youth on the Go here on Vaughn Radio. I am ZAHNELA CLAXTON from the Department of Education, and you know we're here with you on Saturdays to share information, updates, activities, anything that can help with the further development and empowerment of our students and our young people. And this month of June, our focus, of course, is on early childhood. It is Child Month 2022, and we have with us in the studio our education officer with responsibility for early childhood, Mrs. Florence SMITHEN. Mrs. SMITHEN was walking us through the Child Month calendar so that you can learn more about all of the exciting activities planned for Child Month 2022. So we were at the church service. So we're not very far along, because of course tomorrow is Sunday and today is Saturday, so some schools are worshiping today and some are worshiping tomorrow. So we'll continue, Mrs. Smithson, with the calendar.
Yes. So on June 10th, this coming Friday, we'll have our Child Month parade during this from the Old Artisan Village to ETW Park, and we are going through Charlestown. This year is going to be special because the children this year have designed their costumes. So they will be coming through with costumes made from recyclable materials. So this is exciting. I am really looking forward to see what they have come up with. And they have also were able to do it with their parents. So it was like a mommy, daddy, and me child experience. So I'm looking forward to that. And as usual, we would have the ministers of government, the education officials, our counterpart from St. Kitts. We'll have the band leading from St. Kitts as usual. We'll have all of the various nurseries, preschools on the island, our primary kindergarten persons. And this year, we'll have the solid waste, environmental persons in with a float.
Nice.
So, talking about recycle. So we are in for a treat with our parade, and we look forward to it. And then on June 15, we have our Dancing Stars. And this is a production where each school is going to present a dance to us. And this is a dance that will be done by the children themselves. And they have been practicing. I really had a peek at some of the things that they are doing, and it's really exciting. And this is going to happen at NIPAC, and we have a cost for adults for a donation of $10 and children $5. And this is going to start at 5 p.m. on June 15.
Mrs. Smith, before you go any further, I know we've hit the dance already, but I have a big question about the parade. So if any adult wants to wear a recycled materials costume, is that allowed? Just in case anybody out there is wondering, hey, is it just for the children?
Yes. Yes, it would be exciting if we can see the adults.
Maybe the adults can dress, maybe some of the parents can match their children.
Yes, that would be so exciting.
Twinning.
And I'm here thinking, boy, I wish I had a prize for the best costume.
But maybe,
this year,
maybe we should do a call.
You know, so
out there
I don't know.
Willing to sponsor any business that is willing to sponsor the costume, the best costume for Child Month, the Child Month Parade. Feel free to reach out to us. Reach out to Mrs. Smithen at the Department of Education and let her know so that she can probably launch that as a prize.
Yes, because I'm really, as I said, I'm really excited about this experience, and it's a long time we have not been in costume. We have always been in our Child Month T-shirt, but this year we do not have a specific T-shirt for this year, so we are going to be wearing several T-shirts from over the years. So this is a time where we can flash whatever T-shirts we have and wear it at this parade as we adorned in our costumes. So this is a great experience.
What about for persons who want to have the recycle logo on their shirt? I know that we have allowed for that with some stipulations, so maybe we can guide them through that as well if that's what they're interested in doing.
Yes, I've asked a few schools who were interested, and individual parents as well. If you have a shirt that you would like the logo to be printed on it, there is someone who has agreed to do that for us at a cost of $15. But you must get the shirt to the Department of Education by Tuesday morning.
And the $15.
And the $15. If that is a possibility. If not, if you have a shirt, you just wear it for Child Month, a Child Month shirt. And so we look forward to that grand day. On June 10th.
Okay, awesome.
Yes.
So I took it back a little bit, but
yes.
I think it was for an important purpose. So you can go ahead.
Yes, and then we have a children's movie that we call Matadi, because we're having it at 5 p.m. during that day on June 21st, and we are encouraging parents to bring their children out, have it done as a family affair. And this is special. It's good. The lead person and lead school on this event is the V&Js, and we really want to see how much funds we can raise for that particular show. Because we have one of our colleagues that is sick, and we want to donate some money to her, and pray that it can help to go a small way or a big way in helping her to recover, because she has given a lot of service to early childhood. and we want to just tell her thanks and also to ease some of our financial burden.
Okay, so in case they missed it, the matinee, which is on which date?
June 21st.
June 21st at 5 p.m. at NIPAC.
Yes.
Right, 5 p.m. NIPAC, June 21st. There's a children's matinee, and we're encouraging all to attend. It is hosted by VNJs, one of our staff members who has not been doing very well, who has certain medical bills. We want to be able to make a contribution through this matinee. If you are interested in making a donation outside of the matinee, you can reach out as well to Teacher Viana.
Yes.
To Teacher Viana at VNJ's preschool, and we as we say, we never know we don't know where we'll end up. We don't know what our situation will be, and so for someone who has contributed a significant portion of her life to early childhood, to nurturing and helping children on the island, I think it is definitely a worthy cause. If you can't make it for whatever reason, please do not hesitate to make a donation.
Yes, and the cost is 10 adults and children $5 for the matinee. On June 23rd, we have an exciting fun day at the Malcolm Gishard Recreation Park for the children at early childhood. And for this fun day, it's so exciting because the special touch that has been placed on it is where they are going to meet the education officials. The children actually will be able to meet the ministers, the education officers, and other persons working at the ministry. So they'll see us, and we'll be there working and playing and having fun with them while they are there. And so all of the schools will participate in that, and that's on June 23rd. And then on June 24th, we join our counterparts on St. Kitts, because some of them are coming over to join us on Friday this week, and so we will go to St. Kitts and join them there for their parade on June 24th. Then we have our our big show, as persons would say. We are having our Prince and Princess Pageant at NIPAC on June 29th starting at 5 p.m. And for this show, we have two seating. We have the indoors, adults $25, and the outdoor, adults $10. And then the indoors, we have children $10 and $5. Okay, so we have two costs there. We will be selling tickets, and we'll be selling them at the Department of Education before the show. So if persons want to get their tickets before, they can always, contact us there. Now the Prince and Princess show we have 10 schools participating, and 2 students from each school, a boy and a girl, participating in this show. So it's a big show and a lot of children involved. And so we want to be able to reach out to our sponsors, those persons who have helped to us with this show in terms of providing their sponsorship. And I would go quickly to the sponsorship. We have for Ines France Preschool, we have RBM Nursery, and your Brinto Bar and Restaurant, and these businesses are by Rodney Fleming. He has been the one that has sourced the funding for that particular school, and we want to say thanks to him. For Naomi's Preschool, we have the Finnish Touch. Gingerland Preschool, we have the Honorable Eric Evelyn. Wow. And then for Montessori Academy, we have the Viva Medical Center. And for St. John's Preschool, we have Bands Architectural Services Limited and Century Maritime. For Mudcross Preparatory, we have RSJ Enterprises and Island Moldings. For Combermere Preschool, we have Mr. Cleveland Christmas and Mr. Delano Maynard. For VNJ's Preschool, we have Lefco and Blade Trucking Services. For Charlestown Preschool, we have Cornerstone And for V&J's preschool, we have Stellar's Engineering and Nevis Cooperative Credit Union. And we want to thank all of those sponsors because we know that we just went through a pandemic and they would have come out and they've sponsored the children, and so we see our future being bright here in Nevis. So we want to thank them well. I also want to thank the Nevis Association of Florida. They have been the one who have sponsored our tiaras, little tiaras and crowns for this pageant, and we want to say thanks to Mrs. Vida Baptista, the president, and her group there in Florida for really sponsoring these tiaras for us and helping us. And we have other persons coming on board for gifts and so on. And if any other business out there who wants to present a little gift to the children, we are also welcoming that as well. So those are our sponsors for the pageant. Now for the pageant, the children normally do a great job. They are going to introduce themselves. We have certain segments. They're going to introduce themselves. They're going to have a little talent. They're going to come out in their prince and princess wear. So we know that we are in for a good treat. So we want the general public to come out and support the children, to cheer them on. And our theme this year is My Rights Equal Your Rights. So this was adopted from UNICEF. And so we are hoping that as children talk about their rights and so on, they have understanding that each one of them are special in their way, and that every child is a winner, and we want to boost their self-esteem and help them to feel good about who they are, because once we set a good foundation for our children now, we know that they are in for a good lifelong experience as adults. So I want everyone to continue to support our activities. We have some more activities that we will talk about before our break, after
our break. Yes, definitely. And when we come back from the break, Mrs. Smithen, we'll also explore some of the rights that you were talking about. So we'll have an opportunity to have the conversation as well, and then we'll look at the other activities. Listeners, viewers, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back.
When VON vibrates, the whole Caribbean must shake.
860 AM, the powerhouse.
It's time, come on, rise and shine. You know, I know, we're gonna have a great time. An hour passes quickly, you don't wanna miss it. So turn up the radio, it's you on the go. Youth on the go. Oh, let's start the show. Oh, youth on the go. Oh, let's start the show. Oh, let's go. I will learn new things. I will be creative. Grab your gears, let's gather around. An adventure is always waiting. The storytelling means for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Whoa, let's go.
Let's go. Good morning to all of our radio listeners or viewers via Vaughn Radio's Facebook page and YouTube channel, and welcome to another edition of Youth on the Go here on Vaughn Radio. I am ZAHNELA CLAXTON from the Department of Education, and we are here with you on Saturdays to share information, updates, activities. It is June, so we have some special information, updates, and activities because it is Child Month 2022, and our early childhood unit at the Department of Education has a lot in store, of course in collaboration with all of our schools, our school leaders, our children, our teachers, a lot in store for Child Month 2022. This morning we have with us a very special guest, of course not a guest to education, but a guest on Youth on the Go, Mrs. Florence Smithen, and she is the Education Officer responsible for early childhood. And we've been walking through the calendar, sharing information so that everyone out there, of course, is up to speed as to what is happening for Child Month 2022. And just a side note, very early on in the show, we talked about our song for Child Month, and that our children will be singing it at church either today or tomorrow. And so we want to encourage parents, because in a few we're going to open the phone lines for some brave child or children to call in and share the song with us. All right, Mrs. Smithen, we were talking about the pageant, and so we'll continue there. We can probably explore some of the rights which will be in focus for the upcoming Prince and Princess pageant.
Yes, as we know, there are many rights, but for this particular show, each school will be focusing on a particular right. And if I go through the schools again, as we said, we have 10 preschools. Ines France preschool will be looking at, we have the right to food, clothing, and a safe place to live. Naomi's preschool, we have the right to freedom of religion. Gingerland preschool, we have the right to be treated fairly. No one is allowed to punish us in a cruel or harmful way. And Montessori Academy, we have the right to an identity. And St. John's preschool, we have the right to a good quality education. Maud Cross Preparatory School, we have the right to give our opinion and for adults to listen and take it seriously. Combermere Preschool, we have the right to be raised by our parents if possible, and we have the right to special health and care if we cannot be raised by our parents. Vernon Preschool, we have the right to be protected from being harmed and mistreated in body and mind. Charlestown Preschool, we have the right to a clean environment. V&J's Preschool, we have the right to play and rest. So those are the rights that the 10 preschools will be focusing on during the pageant.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that update and those pieces of information, Mrs. Smithen. So that has taken us through the pageant. I want us to know that, remember, we have our children who are developing. They're very young, and so the aim of this pageant is to really display their talents. We are not putting any child above another, and so at the end of the show, every
Child is a winner.
Every child is a winner. And so we will have 10 princesses and 10 princes, right?
Yes.
And they will, let me tell you, the last time we had the pageant in 2019, it was indeed a memorable event. From time to time, I still pull the pictures up on my phone to look at them because it was fun. I had a great time for that pageant, and so I expect nothing less this time, and I know that I want to commend the teachers and the supervisors who have been working assiduously with the students. We were able to see the launch of the participants on Wednesday, and they were so cute. They were real troopers. We were able to take our photos and do little things there, and the confidence that they had for most part is admirable, especially being locked down for a good portion of the last 2 years, not having interactions with persons and crowds. They were really brave, and I am so proud of them, each and every one of them.
Yes, I certainly is proud of them as well. And I was really, happy and felt so glad to see the way they performed at the opening, knowing that, they would have had probably just a week or a couple of weeks to learn an introduction. And they were so creative in their introduction too, Miss Jackson. It was really amazing. I still look back at the clips and and smile to myself. I'm saying that we are in for a treat on the 29th. And so I really want to encourage everyone who can make it to come out and see the children perform.
Thank you. Yes, definitely. And of course, we encourage that. And then we have our closeout activity, which is actually an activity that will be running for the entire month. We know our theme for this year's Child Month focuses on recycling, and we thought, in addition to the parade where you get to wear your recycled materials, you also should do another activity. So we'll talk a bit about that, Mrs. Smithen, that the recycling activity, so that persons can be aware of what is happening there.
Yes, this recycling activity is, we have a recycle day planned for June 30th. And as I just said, during the month of June, the children, parents, teachers, everyone, they would be bringing in their recyclable materials into the classroom. And they will basically be focusing on plastic and also the plastics, and as well as the cans. The cans would also be brought in, and also any other materials that they have. It's not just only water bottle. It can be things like, let me just look at my list here that I have. It says plastic bottles or metal cans. They can bring that in as well. And also, for this particular activity, there is a winner in here for the school. There is a prize for the school. I'm not going to announce the prize here yet because it has not been fully decided what it would be. But the school that takes in the most recyclable items will win a prize for that particular activity that we have on Recycle Day, which is on June 30th.
So what we're encouraging at the school level is for each day for persons to drop their recyclable materials off at the school. I know one center has said to the parents, with each sign-in the morning, when you bring the child, you drop off a recyclable material. So it's part of the signing process so that they can ensure that they get a lot of recycled materials. And I think it will be a good educational opportunity for the students as well, because why am I bringing these items to school? What are we going to do with them? What can be done with them? Even though they're young, they can understand the importance of recycling. So if the Early Childhood Center wants to say, well, every end of week for the month of June, you're bringing recyclables. If they want to say every day, like some centers are choosing to do, that's fine. But please encourage parents and children to be part of this experience. Mrs. Smithen, I think that we will be in for a good day of activity when we culminate this particular initiative. And for persons out there who are wondering, well, how can I help? How can I participate? You might live close to a center. You might have a child who attends a center, a niece, a nephew, whatever your connection is. We are a very small island. Everybody who's listening and who's on Nevis is connected in some way to an early childhood center, whether it be a daycare or a preschool, whatever the case may be. You are in some way affiliated. Feel free to stop by and drop off your recyclables. If you have those detergent bottles, you just finished using your laundry detergent and it ran out, just rinse the bottle out, drop it off at the center. You have some water bottles, the small water bottles, you can drop them off. The large ones, you can drop them off. Some persons buy big bottles of soda, you can also drop those off. So know that even if you don't have a child at an early childhood center, you can contribute to the center's total number of plastic bottles, so that or of recyclable materials. So keep that in mind, and the center with the most items at the end of the process wins, and we'll culminate with a ceremony at the Long Point Recycling Facility as well, so some of the children will get a chance to visit that as the culminating activity.
Yes, and as parents, we can tell our children why we recycle. We really want to make our planet Earth a better place. We want to prevent pollution, so we want to breathe good air and so on. And as we recycle things, we save money, and we reuse things, we save money. And they need to know that. Children need to know. And even I know that in Nevis we are just starting on a small scale, but in other countries this is something that they do on a larger scale, so they're able to create more jobs, they're able to save resources, they're able to save money and so on. And because we live in a small environment like Nevis, we don't want to fill up the landfill. We want to reduce it. because we don't want, after a while, garbage start to get into our water. They start to get into our sea, and our fish start to eat it and everything, and we start to get sick. So we have to start now to save our environment, and we want to make sure that we cement that in our children now, starting at a young age, so that when they grow up, they can also see ways that they can also save our earth, and so that our earth can be a better place for us to live.
Wonderful. And so, of course, that is, I think, part of the entire process. It's not just the theme selected. It's about how we can teach children, and the younger they're introduced to certain concepts, and the earlier we can get them cemented, the more likely it is for us to be able to see them carrying through over the years. So not just like Mrs. Smithen is alluding to, we're not just going to have them learning about them at school. We also want parents to take the time to walk children through, to talk through, to to develop their communication skills. Because even if we're trying to teach an environmental practice, having conversations with children help to develop their communication skills as well. So you talk to them and you ask them, well, why do you think? How do you think? And you start stimulating their critical thinking skills as well. So there's so much to offer within this, and I can't wait. The school with the most recyclables will win a prize, and I know that that school will be so excited at the end of it. Don't allow your school not to win the prize, so make sure that you contribute to. Don't be the reason why they didn't have enough recyclables. When you have an option of throwing the materials in the garbage or taking them to the school for recycling purposes, I would choose option B, right? And maybe I should remove the option and say just take it to the schools for recycling purposes. We look forward to that input and support as well. Okay, so we've walked through the Child Month calendar. As you can tell, there are many exciting activities there. I don't want to tell you which one is my favorite, but I'm looking forward to the Malcolm Gishard Recreational Park Fun Day, because the children, I think, will walk away very happy, and so we look forward to that. I'm not saying it's my favorite activity, I'm just saying I'm looking forward to it. And y'all know how I feel, as I said, about the Prince and Princess pageant. It is one of those times when I get a chance to reflect and look and observe and see, and of course all of the members of the audience have been so open and welcoming to the students, and really supportive, and so we look forward to that same environment coming. I hope you practiced your song, because we're going to take a break, and when we come back we're going to start opening the lines to allow children to be able to participate. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back.
From Queen City, Nevis, this is the powerhouse of the Eastern Caribbean, Vaughn Radio.
It's time, come on, rise and shine. I know we're gonna have a great time. And now we're past it quickly, you don't wanna miss it. So turn up the radio, it's you on the go. Youth on the go, whoa, let's start the show. Oh, youth on the go, whoa, let's start the show. Whoa, let's go. I will learn new things, I will be creative. Grab the games, let's gather around, and adventure is always waiting. The storytelling news for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the go, whoa, let's start the show. Oh, youth on the go, whoa, let's start the show. Whoa, let's go.
Let's go. Good morning to all of our radio listeners or viewers via Vaughn Radio's Facebook page and YouTube channel, and welcome to another edition of Youth on the Go here on Vaughn Radio. I am ZAHNELA CLAXTON from the Department of Education, and I am joined by my colleague from the Department of Education, Mrs. Florence SMITHEN, our Education Officer with responsibility for early childhood. We're celebrating big. We're celebrating Child Month 2022. 2. And so, Mrs. Smithen, I don't know if you can strike up a tune so that children can get a little bit of a spark. I'm teasing you. But we're going to open the mics. Our first prize giveaway is for any child who can sing the song, the Planet song. It says,
let's see what we can do. Save the planet for you and me, for me and you.
okay, so let me go. I'm going to try.
Let's see what we can do. Save the planet for me and you. Let's see what we can do. Save the planet for me and you.
So children,
E-A-R-T-H. Planet Earth is a happy place. E-A-R-T-H. Planet Earth is a happy place.
All right, so that was your jump start. That was your jump start. If you have a child at home who attends an early childhood center and can sing this song for us, 469-1616, 469-1700. We would love for them to sing the song for us, and they will win a prize. All right, 469-1616. 469-1700. Let's see what the price can be. So I have some gift cards from Seal My Sip for smoothies, and so the winner of this prize will get a coupon for a smoothie, and we have somebody who's smoothie ready.
Hello?
Good morning. Good morning.
My name is Kiara Warner.
Okay, Kiara Warner, can you sing the song for us?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Let's see what we can do. Give the plan for me and you. Let's see what we can do. Give the plan for me and you. E-A-R-T-H. Planet Earth is a happy place. Na 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 na.
Oh my goodness, Mrs. Smithen, how did she do?
She did very well.
Very well. So Kiara
At the
Warner.
start, yes.
All right. Great job. Great job.
She's continuing,
Go
yes.
ahead, Kiara. Go ahead.
He is for environment, keep it new.
All right, Kiara.
Okay,
you're gonna get your smoothie, and have mommy or daddy collect it from the or some member of your family collect it from the education department. Okay.
Great, Kiara.
Good job. All right, so that was Kiara singing the song. I told you these children are brave, and so Mrs. Smithen, I feel like I can give away another prize for another child who's willing to sing.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to do that. If we have another child who's willing to also join Kiara, Kiara already walked away with her prize. Kiara walked away with her prize, and we are going to allow for another child if we have any children out there. Oh, we have another one. Let's hear. Good morning. How are you? Okay, I can't hear you. So, can you hear me well? I can't hear you very well.
Okay.
Wonderful. What's your name?
Mbele.
Mbele. Good job. Okay, Mbele Galloway. Go ahead and sing for us. Hello? Mbele, can you hear me? Okay, go ahead, sing a song for us. Okay, sing into the phone, Mbele, so we can hear you. Mbele, are you there still? To get back in, but we're looking for someone who can join Kiara in singing the song for us. Mrs. Smithen and I tried to little jig thing, but we forgot the na 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 na. So we forgot that part. But
let's see what we can do. Save the planet for me and you. Let's see what we can do. Save the planet for me and you. Okay.
All right. So anyone who can join us in singing the song, feel free to do so. And Mbele, if you can call back in, we will be happy to hear from you again. All right. So that is one prize that we have on the table to give away. Mrs. Smith, and while we are waiting for a caller for that song, perhaps we can. I want to take a few moments out to say thank you to you, Mrs. Smithen, for all of your hard work and dedication and long service in this position as education officer responsible for early childhood. Tell the world, tell all of our listeners just how long you've been at this.
Well, Ms. Claxton, this year is my 20th anniversary as the education officer for early childhood.
20th anniversary.
So 20 years I've been in this position, and I must say it has been very rewarding. I have enjoyed every minute of it. I must say that I have been in early childhood for 42 years. But as an education officer, I have been in this position for 20 years. All of my years are not really in Nevis, though. Yes. I have worked at the Charleston Preparatory School for 8 years. I started there as a young teacher in 1980. Not giving my age, but
no, working in 1980. Come on,
but that's when I started, and I left I left there in 1988, and I went off to the U.S. and I stayed there for about 10 years, doing I did two degrees there in early childhood, specialized in that area, and also had the opportunity to work at a wonderful institution, Page Academy in Massachusetts, in the inner city. Do a lot of work there with the clusters and everything in both Mattapan, Dorchester, and Roxbury. It was a great, exciting, and rewarding, exciting, and sharpened my skills. But my aim and desire was always to come back to Nevis and provide my experience here on the island where I have been, that have grown. I grew up and had the opportunity to learn all my values and skills and everything as a child. So I came back in 1996 to Nevis, and I've been in education since. But I was transferred to the Department of Education in 2002, and I've been there since. And actually, and this is year 20. This is my year 20 at the Department of Education. And, I've been fortunate to have got some wonderful principal education officers who have worked along and have helped me a lot in my growth as an education officer, and also working along with the schools. I had this position on my own for 10 long years. Wow. As the education officer for early childhood, seeing some almost 40 centers on my own. But then I got an officer in 2010, Mrs. Lance, and then we had Brenda came on recent. But I must say that I had persons like Anna Hailita Libod that who when I came on was there to support me and give me the kind of motivation that I needed, along with Mrs. Larnett Manners, Mrs. Hodge, Jennifer Hodge, Larnett Creeley Connor, and Palsy Wilkin. And now you, my motivator, So I have been fortunate to meet, wonderful people along the way that has, guide me and mold me and keep me grounded. So that has been a good thing. And you think I've had the opportunity and the same thing to have six directors that I've worked with. I've worked with Mrs. Vance Walters, Jacqueline Morris, June Wallace, Roslyn Warner Otto, and now Kimona Brown. So it has been, an experience I've also got the opportunity to work overseas, OECS, UNICEF. I've also, got invitation to train persons in Anguilla, British Virgin Islands, in Barbados, in St. Lucia, Grenada, and and so many islands. So the journey has been a long one, but very rewarding. I've learned along the way. I wouldn't tell anybody it's easy. It's not always easy to be a leader, but to have the right spirit, the passion and energy, you can go so far.
I see you have a lot of energy still.
Yes, but actually I'm retiring at the end of this year. September 1st, I'll be fully retired. But would always be able to go back to my baby. Early childhood, has been my first love, and something that I would do over if I had the chance again to do the whole experience over. So I am really grateful to the early childhood workers. They have been a tower of strength. The supervisors, some of them have been there. I met them there, and I will be departing, leaving them there. So I know they have been long time in this field, And the young ones, I just want to encourage them, to give it their all. To love children, that's the first thing. To love them, and also to give of your all to the children, knowing that once you have changed life, these children are very impressionable, and whatever you do for them, you see the benefits later in life. And that has always been my mantra, and I want to encourage a young person. Don't take the job because for a job's sake. If you don't love children and you don't want to be in early childhood, don't be in it. Just be in it because you love children and you want to give your all, the best that you can for them. And so I want to thank all of the early childhood workers, whether you work as a cook, a cleaner, whatever area in early childhood, because each area makes a big difference. And so I want to salute you and thank you from the bottom of my heart, whether you're in Nevis or in St. Kitts, because I've had the opportunity to work with early childhood workers and St. Kitts as well, and the unit. I want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart. I don't want to call names, because when you call names you forget persons, and that person might be very critical and important to you. So I just want to say thank to all of them.
All right, yeah. So of course we're almost at the end of the show. We didn't get anyone else calling in to share the theme song, and hopefully in the next few weeks we might get a few other callers and be able to give away some prizes. So perhaps, Mrs. Smithon, do you think you and I can close out with singing the song? Because I'm having a good time over here. It doesn't matter. Y'all see how much energy she has. So let's go through and we'll sing the song, close out. We're inviting everyone to be part of Child Month 2022. For information and updates, check out our Ministry of Education Nevis Facebook page. We're posting the flyers and updates there for you. And of course, our focus area this year is recycling. So please join in all of the activities for Child Month 2022. You ready, Mrs. Smithon?
Yes.
All right, you have to lead though,
Let's see what we can do. Save the planet for me and you. Let's see what we can do. Save the planet for me and you. EARTH. Planet Earth is a happy place. EARTH. Planet Earth is a happy place. Na 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 na.
Have a wonderful week, everyone.
Let's start the show. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I will learn new things. I will be creative. Grab your gears, let's gather around. An adventure is always waiting. The storytelling means for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the go. Whoa. Let's start the show. Youth on the go. Whoa. Let's start the show. Let's go, let's go, let's go!
With all the power from the tower. This is the powerhouse of the Eastern Caribbean. VON Radio from the Federation of